Help me understand what you're experiencing every day.
Chaos.
These teachers risk their jobs to speak with NewsChannel 5 Investigates.
I don't feel like we get the support that we have asked and begged for.
A student threatened to kill you, and there were no consequences.
That's actually happened twice.
From the NewsChannel 5 network, this is a special presentation. Teacher Town.
Good evening. I'm NewsChannel 5 Chief Investigative Reporter Phil Williams. For months, Metro Nashville Public Schools have been rocked by one controversy after another. A sexual harassment scandal, questionable spending, and infighting on the school board. And a law firm hired by the district just warned Metro Schools is now facing a morale crisis. So what does that mean for the 86,000 children that the district is supposed to serve? We decided to ask the teachers.
Someone has to say.
On a rainy Saturday afternoon,
Hi, I'm Phil. Hi, I'm Janita.
they came together.
I'm hearing hurt, I'm hearing pain from the teachers because we want what's best for children.
14 Metro Schools educators representing hundreds of years of combined experience.
For me, the morale comes down to feeling like you can never be good enough. You know, just never good enough.
To talk about the state of Metro schools.
This is not a secret. Everybody knows what's happening in the district, and no one's doing anything about it.
And about the emotional pain that's now become another part of their jobs.
We're here for the kids.
And you feel like the district is letting them down?
I'm feeling letting the kids down. I don't feel like we get the support that we have asked and begged for on so many different levels.
How many of you just got fed up with the district and left? How many of you have thought about doing the same thing? And why is that? Why have you thought about leaving?
I think for me, it has been watching my students. I had the privilege of moving up with them, so I've had these same students for 2 years now. And just in the last year, to see the growth kind of stop, because many of the resources I had in place last year, I don't. From curriculum to just the scheduling of things, from master schedule to being able to access certain curriculums, all of that has gone away or changed, so to speak. And so for me, it's very disheartening to see these students who have so much potential and deserve so much more.
So you have seen the same students falling behind?
Yes.
Because you don't have the resources you need.
Correct.
And what happened to those resources?
Many of them, again, messages are, you know, we're no longer funding this program, we're no longer providing this. You know, the district had to do away with that. I mean, it's a variety of answers that we've heard over the year. But for the most part, it seems to be, at least what I have experienced, a shift in where the money goes, and it's away from the students.
So there were resources that you thought were working, and those were taken away. Mm-hmm. I see other people nodding their heads.
I was going to say, for example, one creative solution that many teachers have used is the program Donors Choose in order to get resources. I've used that for my classroom to get novel sets that I was not able to afford, and my students' families aren't able to afford those simple needs for the classroom. And now we're being told you're not allowed to use that. You're not allowed to use that in order to get the resources you need.
The conversation comes almost 3 years into the tenure of Metro Schools Director Dr. Sean Joseph. A recent confidential HR report warns that morale is so low, it could become difficult, if not impossible, for the district to retain qualified and exemplary employees. Raise your hands if you think the morale under this administration is about the same as it was before. Raise your hands if you think it's worse. And why is that? What accounts for the low morale?
Could we just say something about pay?
Sure.
I went into teaching as a second career. I went back, I spent a year and a half getting certified to be a teacher. I taught for 3 years, then I went back and spent another year and a half to get my master's degree. And my pay has just stayed the same. It never seems to go up. And I'm losing hope that it ever will go up. I found a paycheck stub. We don't get those anymore, but it was from a couple of years ago. And there's my paycheck now, there's not even $100 difference. And prices are going up in Nashville, and I really don't know how we can attract and keep teachers if we're not paid well.
What are the other factors driving morale?
Well, the increase in work. For example, for high school teachers, we used to teach 5 classes, and then it became 6, and now it's 7. And there has been no increase in pay. And then there's always additional paperwork coming at us, meetings. We don't have personal time, we don't have planning time. We donate to our schools.
One reason teacher morale is low is because teachers aren't trusted to teach. Everything seems to be dependent upon test scores. And I actually quit the district several years ago and went to work in Williamson County. And then I quit because the emphasis on test scores there is pretty high as well. But after I took a year and a half off, I really missed it. So I came back this year to Metro because I care about our students. I'm a parent in the district as well. I want our schools to be successful. I want our teachers to feel supported and trusted. But every single thing we do is tied to some kind of test score.
I have to ask, though, because pay has been an issue for some time. Over-testing has been an issue for some time. Why is morale now worse than ever?
I feel like it's a constant addition of things we're supposed to do. Teachers are sort of, I feel like schools in general, all of society's ailments come down to the schools, and that's where you see them, because school is the last place where everybody goes. Somebody said that to me the other day, and it's true. You see all the things going on in a society because of your schools. And you know, we're here to teach. We love kids. Nobody does this if they don't love kids. But you know, the district has a focus on attendance right now and a focus on discipline right now. And they want, I mean, I agree totally with those things. We need better attendance and we need better discipline, but we can't do that by ourselves. And teachers are expected to, pardon me, call parents now. I think I don't even remember what the guidelines are, but it's a whole lot more work to see why kids aren't in school. That used to be somebody's job, is my understanding. Schools had an attendance person, or Metro did, but now that's on us too. And I think for me, the morale comes down to feeling like you can never be good enough, you know, just never good enough.
A week or so ago, we talked to Dr. Shun Turner. She told me, quote, there seems to be more talk
about just being unhappy, searching for other jobs. Some have mentioned, you know, I'm having to go see a therapist now, or, you know, I'm going to need medication to come to work every day.
Is that something you hear from your colleagues?
Every day.
Mm-hmm. Tell me what it is that you hear from people.
Again, it's that feeling of never being good enough and having all these expectations. Like she was talking about the attendance, we used to have an attendance clerk that would take care of that. They've cut a lot of those positions and they think, oh, the teacher's not doing anything, let the teacher do that. And so now we're expected to be a teacher, a disciplinarian, attendance clerk. If you do exceptional ed, you actually teach the students, and then you also are their case manager. I mean, there is no way. I work every night and at least one day during the weekend, and I've had to cut myself off from not doing that as much. With this administration, in the past 2 years, there are a lot more teachers being called on the rug about things that would have been addressed in a manner that would have been helping that student or helping that teacher overcome what it was that they were struggling with. Now there's a lot of finger pointing, a lot of discipline, a lot of write-ups, and so I feel like at least teachers I've talked with, we're walking around on eggshells. We don't know, you know, who's going to come in and not like what we're doing and call us on the rug in front of whoever's standing there to watch.
The principals don't mind doing it in front of the kids either. They belittle you in front of the kids. I was lining my kids up on a straight line to take them to the library, and he said, they're not in jail. Why are you lining them up? Let them go. And I was trying to keep order, and he says, let them go, and they'd take off running down the hallway.